I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pounds. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody new, so I never get confused. Hotel get a bird's eye view, hotel get a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me, baby, I'll be done so soon. Phone gotta be off, each store got locks, I got some trusted shoes. Okay. 10K on the countertop, don't look so shocked, it's nothing new. Okay. Death comes in threes, wins come in twos. Cash comes in ones, throw it up, celebrate some news. Ay. I do a good job, pull up and pop out and pull out. Hat on and hood on, pedal to metal, when I put my foot on, I got to put on, I got a bad one, they wanna keep me, oh that's a good one. Pockets are dense, I think my bread is hard as a crouton, receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pounds. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Touchdown, 8th floor, come down, hotel, lobby. Receptionist, what now? 11A.
Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Seattle Seahawks. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. Well, how about a deep ball on the first play from scrimmage, putting that secondary on notice?
Brandon, all I remember when I was a player is that we always took a test the night before the game about teams' tendencies and what they plan to do. I'm not sure we think deep ball right out of the gate and putting us back on our heels.
Now here's Goodwin with it on the jet sweep, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain, followed by a sizable loss here. They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. On 3rd down, here's Coleman. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Wilson, the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Tight. Move 15. Match by 4. Get him. Get him. Get him.
Now on 2nd and 16. Wilson. He gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Right there. 54 Mike. Here we go, team. One left. Tempo. 54 Mike. 54 Mike.
3rd and 2, now Wilson. He lets it fly from, and the defense loses him. It's complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Tyler Lockett, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Rodgers now to throw. Lets it fly for Thielen. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Give him 32 on the play. You know, he's already thrown for more yardage in this first quarter than he did all of last week.
And I can be snarky here and say, well, he didn't throw for a lot of yards last week, but the bottom line is he put in a great week of practice and really came out ready to go in this one.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Rodgers. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 30.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
NFL quarterbacks work so hard on their mechanics, and they do so much repetition in practice, off-season, the whole deal. They expect it to be autopilot once the games start. That way it eliminates any type of pressure of the game, pressure of people in your face, all of that. That didn't shine through on that throw.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5, and he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. That'll pick up the 1st down for Seattle on a gain of 18. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard.
Mike spot 4, Mike spot 4, Mike spot 4.
Here's Wilson. And he rifles one incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. They tried the throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1.
Check, check, check.
Now Wilson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 10 yards and a Seattle first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Wilson now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. A run for Nick Chubb. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
They'll run with Coleman on first down. And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13. The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Now Rodgers on the bootleg. That'll be complete to Cook. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
319. Hey, you block over here. Hey, orbit.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
Check 4, check 4. Check 30. Hey, echo.
It's Coleman here. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. The kick by Carlson is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. fielded about a yard deep. Well, he thought about coming out, but instead he does go down to a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number 1 in their conference.
Tighten up. 12. Mike spot 9.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Check. 30 seconds.
On the ground, it's Chubb. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they get to that end zone real fast.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
Gun. Gun. 54. Mike, 54. You can't block me.
Now Wilson. And his throw is incomplete.
But he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Second and 10 from the 33-yard line.
54. Check. Watch 54.
To throw again, Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or...
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
4 down.
On third down, Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
So out now is the Seattle field goal team. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked to his offense coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe someday you press it a little bit. This might be the case.
2nd and 9 at the 26-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Let's go.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. He'll find Metcalf. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Credit the sack to Malik Jefferson.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Now it's Wilson. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
On play action, it's Rodgers. Deep ball for Goodwin. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 17. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And that's now the 2nd time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively. And you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, it totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Mike, check.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. And that one falls incomplete. A 50-50 ball. A little dangerous. Could have been picked. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. From the shotgun, Wilson. He'll get this to Chubb out of the backfield. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
12. Right there. 54. Right there. Hey, watch the screen. Watch the screen. Go. Screen,
out of the gun. Here's Wilson. And he'll find Hall. That one goes for 24 yards.
For another Seahawks. First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Wilson now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's first and 10.
Alert, 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 alert. Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
Wilson will throw again. It's caught. Lockett. No gain there on the completion. Second and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Throwing again on second down. Wilson. Left side here taken in by Metcalf. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. Wilson now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's first and 10.
54. Mike 54. Hey, 0.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
First and goal at the 8-yard line.
Mike 5-4. Hey, let's get this. Check 90.
They'll run with Chubb. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit from the right hash, and this one just a chipping. And his kick is good. So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Play to win. Let's go.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Wilson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Gun. 36 power. Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4. Let's go, D. Yo, 40.
Second and 10 now, Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. First possession in the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They try and run on first down, but to no avail. Tackled for a 2-yard loss in the backfield.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic, and people wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. A big third down pickup of 20 yards. On first down, Rodgers. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. The 30, 20, 10, and he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. And remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now up to 14. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
They will run again with Coleman. Now they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Mike 50. Mike 50. Push him back. Push him back. Mike 50. Mike 50. No chance.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off around the 37. And give him now 4 interceptions in this game. That's only the third time this has been done since the year 2000.
I think that tells you how much better teams have gotten at throwing the football. Because if you go all the way back to 1960, 12 times before that, there have been guys who've gotten 4 interceptions or more in a game. I mean, most recently, since 2000, Delta O'Neal and D'Angelo Hall.
Suddenly, it's first and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. They'll give it to Chubb, and he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Nick Chubb, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
26. 50's the mic.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Man open, it's Goodwin. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 17 yards, 1st down, Vikings. Here's Rodgers to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off near the 44. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
Comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Jerry Tillery make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Another try after the 1st down sack. Rodgers. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Dexter Lawrence in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll punt it away for the second. And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And he's going to let it go deep. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. Here's Nick Chubb as they try to fire up this run game. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Here's Wilson to throw. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Austin Seferian-Jenkins, his 4th touchdown on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point right down the middle, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Back now in Seattle, Washington. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. First play of the drive, lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. Call it no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the fourth quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production. But how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
The Vikings on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 14. Coleman. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I...
And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf, his 6th touchdown of the season as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
They'll keep it on the ground. Coleman. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. The Vikings on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 9. They'll toss it to Coleman. Room here to run. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting third down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down.
Let's go. 60 outlaw. Right there. 56. Top 61. Let's go.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Buying time to his left. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. This is Coleman. He gets a good chunk of yards there, 8 all told, but they're still looking at a 4th down.
It's a gain of 8, but it brings up 4th down.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
I know you felt that one.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. Now it's Lockett. 31 yards on the punt there. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
At their own 37-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Right there. 54 Mike. Hey, 0. Give me that ball, defense. Give me that ball.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 11 yards there and a 1st down for Seattle.
Well, partner, if we had their entire playbook in front of us, I'm not sure we would have picked out that play as the one to run in that situation. How about the guts of the offensive coordinator? Dialing that one up into great success.
Chubb with a 1st down carry as he'll get about 3 out of it. Make it 2nd and 7 coming up. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
At the 43-yard line.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. The 20. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Seahawks, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.